Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. It is a very special edition. We're calling up the top prospect. Dalton Feely is with us. There's so many big topics. We're talking ball today. Trev is on a Mexico tarmac the last time we heard from him.
Haven't heard from him since.
Thoughts and prayers. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. I am Jake Storielli. That is Dalton Feely. Rob Sirocco is producing his butt off. And we have a funky episode for you. It's getting hot. It's dog day seasons. And baseball's in an interesting spot. We saw the Jeff Passan tweet last night that showed basically every division has switched their division leaders in the past 2 months. That the stage is set for this final month and a half of baseball. We love you, Trev. He's with the family in Mexico. He had some flight problems yesterday. We were making all sorts of plans to figure it out. Instead, we had to call up our Roman Empire, Roman Anthony. Dalton Feely making the debut. How are you, kid?
I'm honored. I feel like I've been in the minor leagues for a long time. I feel like a vet down there. I get the call for the first time. I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to talk some ball. Trev, we hope you have a great time in Cabo. We hope that you're off the tarmac by now and having a good time with the fam. But Jake, Rob, I'm ready to talk some ball with you guys.
And that's what we're going to talk. If you guys haven't seen Dal, JM Baseball, our warehouse, so much of what we do. And, of course, in Talkin Baseball lore, usually assembling the sheet, trying to make us knowledgeable. I did want to start there. I was going to say, Dalton, if you had, and I have some nice words to say to you in a second, but I don't want to start with that because I want it to be unfiltered. You hear a lot of Talkin Baseball. You tee up a lot of baseball, Talkin Baseball. What's something that you've heard me and Trev talk about that makes you shriek inside? Or you would throw the challenge flag. You're a football man as well.
Yeah.
What's something that you hear me and Trev talk about and you're just like, fellas?
Every intro you guys give, I'm worried that something is going to be a complete challenge flag.
Oh, okay.
It is when you guys are talking life, I'm like, I don't know what stories are going to be spoken into existence. No, I mean, realistically speaking, I think you crushed it. I think my favorite thing is your burns. I start nice. You know how I am.
All right.
I'm this
out.
guy. The
I'm
burns. The burns are my favorite. But I guess the one thing is when Dirt Nasty's playing a little bit. Trev will always call me out in Fuego one way or another.
Yeah. Okay, see, this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
TJ Friedel batting 400. Come on, Dalt. Why are we putting him in the sheet? Well, you know why? Because he's a dog, and Terry Francona's got him going. That's why.
That's a great call. That's exactly what I was looking for, because it is true. Trev, every episode, sees one person on Fuego that he's like, why is he here? 368? 3 homers?
Ridiculous.
That's not in Fuego. I did that in 2014. No one cares, pal. It's 2023. Excited to have you, Dal, because we're going to talk ball.
Yeah.
That's what we do here at Talkin Baseball. And it's going to be a little bit of it's going to be a topics up today, essentially. I have a lot of them down. Where the NL West is at. It's one of the biggest topics in baseball. We need to dive into that. The AL West, both equally as juicy right now. Also, we're going to highlight some players towards the end of the episode. The Brewers continue to be a conversation.
Relieve, baby.
I don't know if I've seen a team this hot recently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if you go through different years, you could chop some of the numbers up, but some of them are just absurd at this point. And it continued. I mean, the Pirates...
No disrespect to the Pirates.
Have been helping out a lot of teams, but the way they are playing right now is insane, so we need to talk about them a little bit. On the other side of that, there's some New York Mets. Some of their stats are getting scary, and if you're saying, hey, Jake, your Yankees have the scary stats, we've talked about them a little bit. You could go listen to Talkin' Yanks if you want some of that. But the Mets and where they are in the wild card, where they are with the Cincinnati Reds lurking a little bit. I mean, if you believe in pitching and you have to pick one of those two teams.
Right now, especially.
That's very interesting. And Dalton had one request when I said, hey, we're doing a funky episode today. He said, I need to give an award. We will end with awards and Kelsey Winger doing it. So let's get into it. And we do have something for you people that is a tradition from every episode. I've told you we were going to talk about some NL West. Well, The NL West now starts with the San Diego Padres, who are your Best Western Road Warriors. It's brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life is a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. The San Diego Padres are in first place after they swept the San Francisco Giants. They have won 5 straight games. First time sole possession of first place since April 25th. They've won 14 of their last 17. 8-1-2 over their last 11 series going back to July. Xander Bogaerts has joined the party for the first time in a while, and you know what they added to their bullpen, but also their rotation is healthy for the first time this year. That the San Diego Padres, who I don't know if it's egg on our face or egg on everyone's face, but the San Diego Padres have been a part of this season from the start. But even going back to spring training, it was trade rumors. Are they going to move Cease? That was the trade deadline again.
Yes.
Are they still going to move Dylan Cease? None of that happened. They added half a lineup. They are getting healthy. They have taken first place. So they are your Best Western Road Warriors. Life's a trip. Go book it. What are you doing? Summer's winding down, people. Go book a trip. Whether you're a last-minute person or you like getting ahead of it, Best Western is where you need to be. It helps you recharge. It helps you hit the road better the next day. And with 4,000 of them, whatever you're planning, you should be able to find one. We went out to the one in Wrigley. I think we're going out to the one at Wrigley again in September, so that's a little tease for everyone. See you out there. However you like to travel, solo, with the whole group, whatever it is, Best Western has you covered. Pack your bag, cue up the playlist, hit the road. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. Dalton Feely.
Wow.
Let's start with the San Diego Padres because that's now where it starts. I think we want to talk them versus the Dodgers a little bit, and the Dodgers are heading the wrong direction. I guess with the Padres, where are you at?
Dude, the San Diego Padres. I know Ryan Cohen's ecstatic. I know all of San Diego is pumped up. First place for the first time this late in the season since 2010, September 25th. That's the last time NL West competing. I mean, good for San Diego, man. It's better when we have two juggernauts of teams between the Padres and Dodgers just going at it. And I do think one of the biggest things for why the Padres have been so good, got to give, hats off, AJ Preller and co, man. Like, I think one of the biggest things in baseball, you can't be too timid. You can't be gun shy. What AJ Preller did this deadline was, hey, we have weaknesses towards the front end of our bullpen, getting our long distance, but especially our 7, 8, 9 hitters. And you know what he goes out and do? He gets Mason Miller from the A's, trading Leo Taveras, one of the biggest prospects in baseball.
Untradeable for some people.
Quote unquote, an untradeable player. Gone, controllable Mason Miller. You're going to be in San Diego for at least 4 more years, buddy. At the back end of the bullpen, you go get Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, Freddie Fermin, the Furminator.
Yeah.
Like, they have improved in every area where the San Diego Padres had issues up until the trade deadline. They basically hammered all of that out. Got JP Sears too, but now with the health of the rotation, he's in the minors right now. You don't need to use
Who's
JP
that fifth
Sears.
starter again? I know you know.
Oh, let's see. Oh, it's the best, worst pitcher in baseball, Randy Vasquez.
Another Yankee great.
How did they get
Cortez
him?
Jr.
How did they get them? Nestor too, right?
From the Brewers. That
Well,
was
actually,
just a weird deadline. Brewers
all of a sudden.
The Brewers have 9 starting pitchers, so
Yes.
Nestor's there, who found himself pitching in the World Series in a precarious moment last year. I think what is interesting is the Padres and kind of the thing with them the past couple years, and you mentioned Mason Miller is going to be on the back end for the next 4 years. Some rumors he might end up on the front end at some point. We'll get there when we get there. For this year, he's in the bullpen with, I don't think there's a debate now, the best bullpen in baseball.
6 horsemen now. That includes
6 horsemen.
It used to be 4. Now you get Mason
that.
Miller, David Morgan comes in.
Yeah, David Morgan has been good.
And dude, he's been lights out.
Wandy? Is he your 6th horse?
No, I saw.
He doesn't make the horse
Oh,
list?
no. Listen, I saw a meme.
It's disgusting.
Big meme guy over here. I saw a meme about that, and it was like whenever David Morgan, Morejon, Adam, Estrada, Suarez, they come in, it's like the green pasture. And if you see Yuki or Wandy come in, it's like the dark days. That's what it is for San Diego. They have 6. When's the last time we've said, oh my gosh, this team has 6 arms in the bullpen that are just completely nasty? David Morgan, a 1.67 ERA over 32 and a third inning, Jake. That's nuts. I'm sorry.
When I heard that Sean Reynolds was in AAA for them, and I know he lost his control, and he's a big body boy, so that can be the problem with all those moving parts sometimes. But I remember Coach Trev was so excited for him and the talent he has that there's a lot of teams that would kill to have a Sean Reynolds in the back of their bullpen right now, because if that light bulb were to go on, you then have a high-end elite reliever, and for the Padres, they don't even care. And I think the important part to note, and I got distracted a little bit, with Fermin, Ryan O'Hearn, Laureano, who they added to the lineup, not only are they adding plus players, like do the Ramon Laureano splits. I've mentioned them a couple times. If you do his last 140 games, he's like an 840 OPS baseball player who plays elite defense. Ryan O'Hearn has crushed righties for the past 3 years now. Freddie Fermin is just really solid.
Kansas City loves him. The fans were so upset when Fermin got traded.
He was perfect for that team because Salvi needed to get some more first base and some more DH days, and Freddie Fermin is a good baseball player. And for the Padres, what I've been building up now for 10 minutes, those spots in their lineup, everyone loves war now. Those spots were just weak. They were negatives. Yes. It's not like a net neutral and, hey, let's flip it back to Toddy and Machado and those guys. It was like, oh, these are holes on the team. Now there aren't holes. Now they're first place. And San Diego, Fernando. It's feeling like the excitement. I mean, more than last year, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, Jake, you have your 7, 8, 9 hitters. They're ranked 29th in OPS among all teams in baseball. And you go out right now, I have their projected lineup coming out, depending on righty versus lefty. Like, there's a world where Laureano is batting 7th. Yeah. Jake Cronenworth's batting 7th or 8th, probably more 6th. But these guys are contributors where you've placed them on other lineups. They're batting way higher. Right. Like, this is a formidable team, and dare I say, they're the biggest challenge to the Milwaukee Brewers, who we'll talk about later in the National League right now, because this team is super hot. A lot of the holes they've had are fixed. And I think the biggest thing, talking about this recent series versus the Giants, 7, 8, 9 hitters, that's been my big hammering point. 13 hits, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Yeah. Like, they were contributing in every way possible versus the Giants. If they can keep that up, keep it rolling, they're very likely to have the National League West crown at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think we, and Dalt, it may be on you, maybe intern Sam Peters. Trev, me and Trev were laughing one episode because he was like, the way you have big innings is when the bottom of the lineup contributes. It's either they start off the inning and they flip it to your guys that can end games, or it's the guys that end games, start off the inning well, and the bottom of the lineup contributes. That now San Diego has that. San Diego, last time they won the National League West, 2006. Yeah. Bring me up that roster, Dalton. Bring me up some 2006 Padres. I'm fighting from the phone today.
Before looking it up, because I did have a note. I'm a notes guy. You know that.
I'm bad with years.
Come on now.
I discuss this in every JM baseball
Every
video.
JM baseball
That could be anywhere from Khalil Green to Tony Gwynn to Tony Dustin Gwynn Upton. Jr. I don't know. I'm not great with years.
The one name I do want to throw out, because this is when the Padres and Dodgers were fighting in 2006. One of their leadoff guy for the 4 games when they played in September, manager Dave Roberts, playing for the Padres.
Look at
so
that.
That is one of the big guys for that lineup. But hey, you said you want this Padres team, you're going to get it. 2006, please hold, bing bong. And we are here. Mike Piazza, Agon, Khalil Green at short.
Stop. And
that's it.
End it. Piazza, Adrian Gonzalez, Khalil Green.
Yep, Vinny Castilla. Mike Cameron, your guy. Brian Giles.
That's not a real team.
Do you think I would lie to you?
That team never played in San Diego. I can guarantee
they were
lost.
They moved to Los Angeles like the Chargers did. No.
That is insane. They are rolling. Xander Bogaerts playing his best baseball in a Padre uniform. There's a reason he did get paid all that money. He used to just hit, and the commentary used to be like, yeah, his defense has these weird moments, but that guy can hit. Yeah. He hadn't really done that in San Diego. That has changed. That has to feel really good for him.
Yeah.
And the other guys on that team that, you're playing not good baseball. you get paid a lot of money.
That's what I was
People
gonna
look
say.
at you a little different.
Like,
Like I think that's just honest.
I for one have not made a $250 million contract or greater in my career, but I feel like if you get that bag, quote unquote, like
The episode goes well. We take some of that money out of Trev. That
hello. I will say, like, I feel like there's extra pressure to perform because you have all these fans like excited for you prior to playing your first game as a Padre. You come in, you're batting 250 where you're more expected to be a 300 guy.
Yeah.
The power's not there, and all of a sudden, slippery slope, and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy shouldn't even be in the lineup.
And I think the last Padre note before taking this to LA, like you mentioned, that fake Padres team that never existed in 2006. Nick Pivetta, we said it before the season that it was like, okay, this guy's been pitching at Fenway. Yep. Your stats do just get hurt there as a pitcher. When he signed with San Diego, I was just like, wait, that's a pitcher's ballpark. This guy is going to throw the innings. That 4-3 can turn into a 3-3 real quick. And here he is, 12th win on the season, second in the National League. And that rotation, the bullpen, and 1 through 9 in the lineup can dance with anyone.
Ruben Niebla, baby, shout him out. Pitching lesson lover, excuse me.
Posted, we'll get that out of the system. Posted a video of Yu Darvish pitching lefty on Twitter the other day. So go watch that if you get a moment. Let's head up north a little bit. Because in L.A., the story is very different right now. The Dodgers not only lost the season series to the Angels, they lost the season series to the Angels. 0-for-6 against Shohei's former team. Revenge. I don't know if it's worth it for Angels fans. They'll take it. Things are getting bad in Dodgerland. Their fourth straight loss. What is it? Since July 3rd,
yep,
they had a 9-game lead in the NL West. The Dodgers have gone 12-21. The Padres have gone 23-12 to flip the script in the West. The bullpen has been scary kind of throughout the year, which is just bizarre because we looked at it before the season as almost a super bullpen. It has not been that. Their rotation is starting to get healthy, but they've just been, for a month now, a bottom 3 team in the league, a bottom 4 team in the league, kind of no argument. So I guess where are you at with the Dodgers?
They've been playing one of the worst segments of baseball since July 4th, as you alluded to. Like, they have been a really bad team.
Not patriotic, it seems.
Not whatsoever. Very interesting. This is not the baseball payroll we want to see. But no, I do kind of land in the same standpoint to where you talked about it with Trev and power rankings. Like, I'm an NL West guy. Like, I see these teams pretty consistently. They're just inevitable, man. Like, I do think come October, in years past, we've talked about them being the best team in the regular season, and then they'd be unable to perform in October, whether it was fatigue, they get hurt, whatever happened. Last year was a little bit different where they were banged up. They got healthy at the right time. We thought their starting pitching was an issue, figured it out in October. They go win the World Series. Sorry about that. No shade whatsoever. This year, there's been so many guys banged up on the IL. It's been basically them and the Astros in terms of who's had the most players on the injured list this season. Like, I'm looking at their IL through their bullpen right now, Jake. They have a major league caliber IL bullpen. You ready? Brusdar Gatterall, probably out for the year, ruled today. Michael Grove, Michael Kopech, Evan Phillips, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, and recently acquired Brock Stewart. Like, that's 7 guys, and all of them would be on major league rosters across the league. This bullpen has thrown the most innings in baseball, and we'd think they'd be a very big factor into the Dodgers winning games. In fact, it's been the exact opposite, where they're bottom 3rd% in ERA and WHIP.
Nuts.
Like, I'm just shocked, Jake, and I don't know if you believe in that rotation, but right now the bullpen has given no reason for us to believe in it.
Yes, it does turn into a situation where this is the Dodgers' bad stretch. It hasn't been great for a little while, and let's see what that does turn into. The names in the rotation have changed, which that does tilt my head when Snell. We're going to talk about pitching length, especially when we get to the New York Mets coming up. But part of the reason I've always loved Snell is if you're not going to get the length, he's going to hold you to 0 or 1. And that's what you need if you're going to throw 5 or 5.2. Or in his Cy Young years, he actually did start to extend that out. Tyler Glasnow has been pitching well. The wins haven't been there, but again, we've stopped kind of tracking those for pitchers for the most part. Sorry, Pivetta. That with the other pitchers in the rotation, Yamamoto, for me, who is going to be healthy at the end of the year? And it's unfortunate and it feels like a lame cop-out, but who is going to be there? Who in their bullpen is going to tap in? And who from their rotation can kick into that bullpen? Because I said this last episode, but one of the sneaky guys that was huge in a lot of Dodgers playoff runs was Urias, which that story took a sharp turn.
Yeah.
But we see it every postseason when guys kick to the bullpen and they help out the unit down there. Can someone in the Dodgers even be available to do that? Because no offense to young Emmett Sheehan, but if he's the guy, I don't know if that changes how I think about the Dodgers bullpen. I don't think they would do this with his contract, but like if the Dodgers told us, hey, Glasnow is actually going to be out of the bullpen for a playoff series,
nasty.
I would change my view of their bullpen for obvious reasons.
I think that's an option. Guy. Yeah, I think that would be a realistic option. I know they're trying to extend it, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, and that one's always been weird for me because the way they need to treat Shohei, you can't fully bullpen him. It would have to be a planned bullpen, but you can do that in the playoffs. I don't think that's what people want to hear about the Dodgers. I would guess the other thing that is truly lurking, and I know we don't want to believe in it, especially in baseball, because I kind of don't, but if there was one team you would believe could hit the on button, and we're about to find out, because the Dodgers and Padres play this weekend, the Dodgers and Padres play next weekend. So if the Dodgers do have that on button, they press it now, watch for Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei, and your Diamondbacks have seen this song and dance. Padre fans have seen this song and dance. I'd say on the other side of that, if there is ever a time for San Diego to clip the Dodgers, it's this week and next week.
Yeah.
So
that's the biggest thing. Who are we picking at this point? This is going to be a big 6-game stretch because the Dodgers also have the season series. Like if it comes down to it right now, Dodgers have the tiebreaker 5-2 over the Padres. So Padres, you have to win at least 5 of these games. Take 5 of 6 to get that series tiebreaker. So they basically have to sweep in order to have the potential tiebreaker in their shoes.
Sweep.
I think the one thing, Jake, that I don't want to overlook for the Dodgers, why they've been in this position so far, in the good way, their offense is still amazing. Like, sure, yes. Freeman and Betts have had their issues this year, their slumps, which is unbelievable to say because Freeman was amazing to start the year.
They're still first in OPS, first in runs.
Second in OPS, first in runs. You get partial credit.
I'm sorry.
A-.
I'm sorry.
A-.
Sorry, Trev. I miss you. I'll try to get better.
How dare you
say
that?
If I told you because we just did power rankings, which, again, Brewers fans, we can do some laps in a little bit. If Dalton, you had to put your hard-earned money on some DraftKings, end of the year, the NL West right now, you're taking...
I am taking, since I'm a numbers guy and not a vibes guy, I'm taking the San Diego Padres. And it's crazy. It's not even, I swear, it's not Dodgers hate whatsoever. Right now, they're the hotter team. Yeah. I trust the back end of their bullpen. I trust the rotation. And now that lineup is competitive with the Dodgers lineup. I think I would still take the Dodgers lineup through and through, but it's close. It's very close. But my difference maker is the bullpen, man. Like the Dodgers, they probably have to get through 6 innings right now with that caliber of bullpen. Or the Padres, it's 5 and done. If you have problems, you have 4 horsemen, 5 horsemen, 6 horsemen, all these guys. I really think this is the best Padres team we've seen in a long time.
San Diego is excited to get to their bullpen. The Dodgers are horrified.
Yeah.
I think if people are being honest, and again, our power rankings that were recorded Tuesday had them side by side, and I gave the nod to the Dodgers just because they are who they are. I think if I had to put $20 on it, I'd go San Diego just because the roster feels completely different right now. Even the back of their lineup to the bullpen. And I don't know, I believe in energy and juice in San Diego. San Diego's been in the grass the whole year. They were up 2-1 and the Dodgers clipped them. And then while the Dodgers took their victory lap around the Yankees and casually the Padres, oh yeah, they were the second best team. Easily. Those guys, easily second best to us. And then they had the big offseason. And then are the Padres selling? And now they're here? I don't think they can. If they do, and they end up in a 3-game playoff, That almost turns thing back again. That Padre fans should be a little horrified. Wow, NL West, you got us today. We love it. And the good news is we're staying out west. And it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. DraftKings, I mentioned them in the episode. We're giving you information on which West team you like. It's all behind us. The All-Star break, gone a month ago. Trade deadline, gone. It's the race. And if you're looking to get in on the action at DraftKings, there's no better time. Bet just $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Our promo code, JMBaseball. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code JMBaseball only at DraftKings Sportsbook. I mentioned a lot of the standings that changed. One that did and didn't, in our brother Jeff Passan's tweet, was the AL West, because technically Houston and Seattle have been doing a dance, and I think as we record this, I think Seattle's about to lose to the Orioles again.
Yep, current delay, but you never know.
And just a reminder, baseball is very fragile. Every team we're talking about, except the Brewers, have had a bad time this season. I mean, they were .500 for the first month and a half, two.
Yeah, even below that to begin.
Pat Murphy screaming at guys. That this season we'll have a lot of plot twists coming up, and who knows what they are. The Tigers last year were under .500. Right about now is when they got hot.
Yeah.
But in the West, it's looking like Seattle versus Houston. If you have some Texas stock, I'm probably the last one that hasn't sold. I don't believe in it in the West at all. But Seattle has looked fantastic. I think they're 8-2 in their last 10 before today's game does go official. Houston just got some pitching back. Javier Arrighetti. With some hater nerves, and all the Jordan updates are weird. I guess let's start with Seattle, because they've got a couple former Diamondbacks.
I know, and that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are talking very highly of the Seattle team, because they get Eugenio back in a little reunited, right? A little reunion, if you will, which is awesome. I know Mariners fans were super pumped when they got good vibes only. And then they get Josh Naylor too, which
speed threat,
which is unbelievable. First player, I think, with 6 home runs and 10 stolen bases in the team's first 15 games with the franchise. Nuts. Josh Naylor, known base stealer apparently, which is unbelievable. But dude, I still think the heart and soul of the Seattle Mariners, when we think of their identity, is their starting pitching. And this year was the first year, I think, there were some question marks with them, because Logan Gilbert got banged up. Kirby started the year hurt. It was really Brian Wu carrying the torch in this rotation. Young Brian Wu.
Every start.
It was every start. We're going 6. We're going 6. And now they've started to get healthy. I think the biggest thing we look at, the Mariners are trailing 7 games on July 10th. They're 19-9 over their last 28 games during this stretch. But the rotation since then, they've thrown the second most innings. They're 3rd in WHIP, 3rd in average allowed, 3rd in K per 9, 5th in ERA. That's pretty damn good. And you have this crew of Wu, of Gilbert, of Kirby, of Castillo. That's a core 4 in the rotation. If you need to go 4 deep in the playoffs, my goodness, I don't know if there's a team in baseball that you look at this 4-man rotation and challenge that. I think it's the most gifted, quite frankly. And man, I really want to believe. I know Seattle wants to believe. I'm kind of in. I'm kind of a proxy Mariners fan now because of Eugenio and Josh Naylor being there.
Really?
A little bit.
Wow.
Listen,
someone earning us brownie points in Seattle.
I'm
me
here.
And Trevor killed their team,
Right.
and I just
out.
They've broken me a couple times, as I've wanted them, because Houston has tortured the team I liked for the past decade. And I think one of the things when you start with the pitching, I'm a George Kirby man. That Seattle rotation was pick your flavor of ice cream for a little bit. If you like Luis Castillo, I have no problem with that. Oh. Everyone became Logan Gilbert guys.
Yeah.
Everyone. Saris, all the smart baseball people picked him. They're like, he's the chosen one. Kirby. And here's Brian Wu with kind of the talent, but his injury history scared everyone a little bit. And can that sinker be used that much? And it can, because it doesn't make sense. I am a George Kirby man. That's the flavor of ice cream I liked. And if you looked at him midseason, he was not the guy. His last 4 starts, 25 innings, 31 strikeouts, a 1.44 ERA. that, yes, that rotation that initially built the excitement in Seattle is here. The lineup is so much deeper. Geno hasn't gone yet.
He's been
whether it's the finger or other or whatever. And yet the team has continued to play good baseball. And yeah, Trev said he has some concerns about the bullpen. I don't necessarily see that, or at least for the regular season, where everything we just talked about with starting pitchers potentially kicking back. Whoever you chose from Seattle would be a fantastic 2-inning, 3-inning guy, because they're all great 6-inning guys.
right.
That yes, it feels a little different in Seattle. And hey, there's some similarities here to what we just talked about. Like Seattle, sorry, Seattle and Padre fans, but you guys have been slightly the little brother. Like the Dodgers and the Astros have won titles, and they've snuck, I don't want to say snuck out the division out of nowhere, but they've taken the division a lot, and they've had great postseason history where these are two teams looking for a little more of that. I think the parallels, I think if it's just rosters on paper, you'd pick Seattle and San Diego.
Agreed.
When I was just going to say aura.
Say it.
What?
Are you going vibes?
Who am I? I think when you take in the history and who these teams are, and again, in baseball, one series, anything can happen.
Yeah.
That if the Dodgers or Houston, if that one thing happens for them, especially if it's against the other team, all the bad thoughts start to flood. And these teams are separated by a game.
Yep.
Like, it's not...
They were tied yesterday.
We're not talking about a 6-game lead, which we've seen the Dodgers blow. We've seen Seattle blow instantly. That, like, I don't know. I guess when I start looking the sum of this one's parts a little bit, I really do like the Seattle team. Houston's been good throughout. They're starting to get help back. The Hader thing is interesting.
Yeah, Brian Abreu time. Yeah.
Hader's the bad man. I know this keeps getting worse for Padre fans because that's not how they like to picture him.
Yeah.
Hader's still the guy. I think the last person I still want to see come out of a bullpen in a big game is Hader. I know if it gets deeper, if it becomes an inning plus, like, I just don't want to see that guy. Obviously, there's lefty-righty stuff and blah, blah, blah. So give me the updates on that. I guess the Dodgers have serious flaws. Houston doesn't necessarily. It's very righty. They're missing guys. The Dodgers have serious flaws. Houston's just there.
Right.
And they're they're motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to say it. Like, they almost like that Seattle's dancing with them. Like, yeah. Correa's back.
This is going to be...
Wait till Altuve turns on one. Like, I've seen this story too many times.
Right. And this, you're an American League guy, so you've really seen it with the postseason between the Astros and all these teams. This is going to be completely fucked up to say, but the Mariners and Astros kind of give me a little, like, lion versus prey, where Astros are toying with their food. I know. I do think this year is different, Jake. I really do. And spoiler alert, I think if I'm picking a team to represent the American League, I am taking the Seattle Mariners.
Okay. Then this ended well.
So I think that Seattle will be representing the American League because I truly believe in the rotation. I truly believe in this lineup. It's one of the deepest lineups. It fights with the Padres. It fights with the Dodgers. The bullpen, I can understand a little scared because there's been some guys that haven't done it yet in the postseason.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's fine.
Outside of 8-9 Brash Munoz, like, I'm a little skeptical there. But I'm very excited for them. But I do want to peel the curtain back about my personal life for a second. You mentioned George Kirby. It's funny because
New York boy.
New York guy. I played against George Kirby in high school, and we beat his butt. He's a year older than me. We beat
BHB?
BHB, beat his butt.
Whoa.
Now, to be fair, lucky we didn't face him as a pitcher, but...
Okay, then I don't think you beat his butt.
We beat his team's butt.
You
like that?
You beat one of his buddies. Maybe he hates that cat. I don't think you beat his butt.
No.
And yeah, just again, so I'll be honest with the people, because what else are we doing here? I think I'm a little bit talking myself into these teams that have had bad stretches, because my Yankees have had a bad stretch. They have an easier schedule coming up. I still like their deadline, even though they've had moments of bad. That this season is going to be flipped on its head again. Like, that's partially what I take from the Jeff Passan tweet, that, like, so much more is coming from this season. And, like, Seattle, again, while we record this, they might be about to lose 2 in a row to Baltimore, which the pressure starts to build into your next game. And I'm not saying any of that. I just more so Houston, whether they're a lion or the big bad wolf or whatever it is. Like, if there's a week left and Houston and Seattle are tied, like, I just know what Houston does.
Yeah.
I just know what Houston does. And the Seattle team, the whole thing is we've wanted to see it for years. And Cal is your favorite to win the MVP right now. I love Randy. I love both D-backs that came over to extend that lineup. We've always been a J.P. Crawford show.
Julio. Like, they're so deep.
Julio's balling out.
Yeah, second half Julio happens every year.
I owe him some slight apologies because it is going to end up being like a 6.5 WAR, which is an amazing ball player. But meanwhile, Houston did take care of business against Boston, who had been playing really strong baseball. Right. Gonna talk some Sox in a little bit, kid.
For sure.
Not that they're in my head at all. But yeah, Houston's what? They've won 5 of 7. That's not super impressive. I don't know why I said that stat. But they are having some up and down health issues. Yeah. I guess the starters, the relievers, and give me a good Yordan update.
They've been doing it without Yordan, who's arguably their best bat.
Yordan does this every year. It could be a bad Jolly Olive or Foolish Baseball video. Like, every year it's just like, wait, is Yordan one of the best hitters to ever play this game? Like, is it going to be October 3rd and we see Yordan batting third and winning DS MVP?
Yeah.
Do we give DS MVPs? Yeah, right?
CS for sure.
CS for sure.
I don't think we give
Maybe
DS.
Symbolically?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll give him out.
Be our own little thing. That's okay. I do want to say, Jake, before we move on from the wild, wild west, Mariners, Astros, they each have a 5-5 record against each other. 3 games to go. 1 series to decide them all. Shout out Lord of the Rings, Trev. It happens late in September, 19th to the 21st. Wow. Who is going to win the American League West? You're putting chips on the table.
Right now, it's genuinely, and it's fear factor, it would be Houston.
Okay.
I like Seattle's roster better right now. I think things can happen over the next coming weeks. I don't see Houston slowing down. And if it's close at the end, I'll pick Houston.
Yeah. I do think the biggest difference maker for me is no Yordan, because he just adds that thump into that Houston lineup. For me, I just want to believe.
Yordan is scheduled to take live batting practice this weekend.
Yeah.
So, and here's the only other thing.
Could be back before August.
We've heard these reports. We heard it with Kyle Tucker last year, and then he just magically vanished for 3 months. Yordan was kind of the same thing, too. I hope he comes back healthy, so I don't believe it until we see it. I am taking the Mariners. I'm believing. I'm in. Seattle, let's go. Let's ride.
Seattle, let's ride. Let's keep it going, and it's time to get En Fuego, and it's a different En Fuego this week. En Fuego is brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Talkin Baseball. And who's been En Fuego for the last... I mean, where do you even chop it up anymore? Because it's 12 games in a row. There was some splits I did on Talkin Jake that are just unbelievable with how much these Brewers are winning games. The Milwaukee Brewers are En Fuego as a whole organization. You want to talk Isaac Collins? I do, because he doesn't stop. I thought he might. He's decided he hasn't stopped and he won't stop. 28-5 over their last 33. What? It doesn't make sense. The amount of runs they're scoring, 10-plus runs in consecutive games and 4 times in August. The offense is going nuts. And it might not be the strength of their team. And you could pick defense, base running, or pitching as the strength of their team. They're second in outs above average. They have the best run differential in Major League Baseball. The Milwaukee Brewers, ironically, are your Corona En Fuego team. Go out and get yourself some Corona. Go watch them play. If you're over what your team is doing, which... some of the people that consume the team I like are. Some of the people that consume Dalton's team he likes are. Go watch what the Milwaukee Brewers are doing. Make the cheap seats your own private island, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Grab some ice-cold Coronas. Squeeze in the lime. We're growing up here.
Yeah.
Dalton's seen it.
Done it.
Dalton's in the middle at this company. We got some youngs, we've got some olds. Dalton toes the line. That sometimes I don't know if you're putting the lime in there, Dalton. Put the lime in your Corona. Put the lime in your Corona. And enjoy America's favorite pastime with Mexico's favorite present time. Get yours at ordercorona.com. 21 plus, enjoy responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Dalton, the Brewers, I'll tee it up in a little bit of a shorter fashion than I have been because me and Trev talked about them last episode in the power rankings. I basically did a whole Talkin Jake episode on them, talking about, should they be the World Series favorites? Should they be the favorites in the NL? Which I do think leads to a good conversation. Where are you at with the undefeated pocket pancake Milwaukee Brewers?
First off, don't love the lime allegations. I am putting my lime in my Corona. What do you mean, Jim? No, I mean, listen, we're talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. I kind of get why you're a little bit resistant of putting them into this quote-unquote best team in baseball, because in terms of name value within the Brewers roster and organization, it's surprising how many contributions they've gotten from Isaac Collins. Sal Frelick has turned on a career year so far in his young career. Basically a three-war player who does everything. Andrew Vaughn, the Andrew Vaughn Milwaukee Brewers, they're like 29-3 with him. Yeah. Something absurd in that realm, which is unbelievable. The White Sox gifts to the Milwaukee Brewers. But I think one of the things why we don't, I guess we being talking baseball, why we don't always give the Brewers some love is, they've been in the playoffs a lot, and it's been knocked out in the NL wild card, knocked out in the DS, and in the last 2 years, wild card. Beat by the Diamondbacks, beat by the Mets. So I do think it's a little bit of deja vu all over again, shout out Yogi Berra, where we like the Brewers. We do. It's just, can they get over that hump? And I think in terms of who they have, in terms of how they've been playing, looks great in terms of numbers. Names, it's a little shaky. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. I do lean Brew Crew right now in the National League. I like the Padres. Cubs have been faltering big time. The East is a battle of its own and not in the greatest way right now. Oh. Though Philly has definitely turned it up this deadline. But I think overall, the Brewers, I don't know if it's magic, Jake. I think it's Bob Uecker. That's where I landed. I said it to you pre-show. Bob Uecker magic. We brew leave right now. Adam McCalvey of MLB.com put up a great article talking about Bob Uecker and what he meant for the franchise and how it's kind of, this Brewers team is meant to have his memory be enshrined of hey, he was such a big part of the franchise and now they win for him right after he sadly passed away.
I believe in baseball that the Brewers being the best team, having the toughest manager, there is a chunk of me that wants this Brewers team to work because we have seen Pat Murphy be tougher on a baseball team than we've seen in a long time. It's just being real. That I think managing does matter, and it's the whole conversation me and Trev stumble into once a month is, how do you judge a manager? And it's really hard to because we kind of don't let them manage anymore. Right? Who's fresh in the bullpen? This is the lineup matchup. There's not a lot to manage. I keep saying this, and it blew. I think BBD literally gave a exhale the other day. He benched Joey Ortiz earlier this season for swing decisions.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. Think about how tough this sport is, how truly good these athletes are. To bench a guy for their swing decisions, that's a really slippery slope. Pat Murphy did that this year.
Yeah.
That I am rooting for the Brewers in that way. I guess I am getting distracted by the talent between whether you want to go to San Diego or LA or Philadelphia, and with their playoff success, when it does become playoff time and grind time, if I see the top of the Phillies lineup coming up, tie game, 8th inning, and it is Turner, Schwarber, Harper, whoever else is up there on that day, or I see Salvatore Frelick, who I should love and maybe be my favorite player I've ever seen. But then I could say that about Isaac Collins or Caleb Durbin or Yelly, who is putting in a great season and he's been the guy. And William Contreras is getting hot. So when you say those names, my head tilts a little more. I've 100%. Seen Contreras finish 5th in MVP. I've seen Yelly finish 1st. That I think if people are being honest with themselves and doing the kind of the DraftKings test, I call it, if you were putting your money on the line and it was Phillies Brewers and a playoff series started tomorrow, 5 games, 7 games, it's really hard to not bet on the Phillies, and it's really not even a shot at the Brewers.
Yeah.
Dalton, my last comparison I'll give you, and this hits all your chords.
Oh, no.
Right now, the Brewers are playing it's everything.
Everything
It's
you want.
every facet of the game. They have guys coming off the IL soon that should make them even better. They have everything. It's a little bit the football team every year that has an amazing regular season, but when the postseason's coming, you're like, do I believe in the 15-2 Vikings? It's just a little bit of that.
Which I totally get is fair. I do think one of the things with the Brewers, which is amazing during this streak, they're doing it without Jackson Chourio completely. It's been without him. He's been out since the end of July.
I mean, I could have just said in that impact 8th inning, it'd be Chourio, Yelly, William Contreras, which that should tilt your head.
And arguably their biggest power hitter in Rhys Hoskins also been on the IL since July. They're high in average. They're high in runs scored. They don't hit homers. They're 19th in home runs still. So if Hoskins comes back, that makes a difference. But my last point on Milwaukee, Jake, is early in the year, you mentioned about Joey Ortiz getting benched with his swing decisions. There was I believe it was Sal Frelick or Bryce Terang. It was somebody in that Giants series where it was the base running issue. And Pat Murphy had some very blunt comments about, we got to be a better ball team. We can't make these silly mistakes. They were 26-28 on May 25th. Why is that day significant, you might ask? Yeah. That's the first time they had a multi-run comeback victory. The Brew Crew wasn't doing much early in the year. They were 2 games under 500. They finally have their first comeback victory. Ironically enough, it was against the Pirates too, which is funny. So it's a little bit of a bookend thing with this series. But since that day, when they've had that multi-run comeback victory, they're 51-16. That is absurd. Win streaks of 8, 11, and 12. Jake, that is unfathomable. And I'm sorry, when you say, hey, if we had to pick one team in the beginning of the year, which team would have winning streaks of 8, 11, and 12 and be the best team in baseball come August 15th? I'll be honest. I do research. We all talk some ball. I don't think any of us are taking the Milwaukee Brewers. So shout out Pat Murphy, the pocket pancakes, man, because it's been an impressive run, and I hope they can do it in the postseason because it's been awesome.
That's what I want Milwaukee to know. We are rooting for you. I'm just trying to be honest with you, and I hope it's wrong. And we'll see. And yeah, I think that was one of the more fun things of this season was the Brewers were hitting a boiling point where it's like, okay, you're a couple games under 500. Your manager is really... He's treating you like college kids. What was that, 55-18? What was that stat?
51-16. Nuts.
They're 57-18 in their last 75. The Dodgers are 40-35 in their last 75.
It's
unbelievable.
It's one of the most impressive things we've seen. I hope it matters. Yeah. I hope it matters. I want this to be high and tight, but I do think it is one of the conversations of the sport right now. It's the New York Mets, and things are spiraling. Things are spiraling in New York baseball. The Yanks did somehow take down Trev's Minnesota Twins for the 30th straight year, but they found a way. They found a way. We don't care. Here's your Yankee update. They play the Red Sox next weekend in 4 games, and if they show some life, Yanks fans will lean forward. If they don't, we're staying back. For the New York Metropolitans, Pete Alonso, your new home run record. We're back. Pete hits 2 of them. Oh, God. They blow that game. Was it a 9-run inning? Michael Harris, 2 hitting baseballs again, which that's good to see. The Mets had a 7-game losing streak. Yeah. They end up winning the first game of that series that ends that. The second game is the comeback game. And some of these Mets pitching stats, and this is just where it lands. I think they're the second worst pitching staff in baseball to the Colorado Rockies since early July or June. I just had that stat and I lost it. The pitching is... pitching has run out, and this is a far cry from a month and a half in with us saying, hey, they're the new Brewers. They figured it out. They're a pitching factory. Look what they've done. it has been the opposite of that, Dalton.
Dude, it's been unbelievable. Like, we had mentioned the Dodgers pitching woes in terms of their bullpen having to throw the most innings. Well, over the last 2 months, the Mets rotation has accumulated the fewest amount of innings. So that rotation is not getting the job done, not passing it off to the bullpen to where you have, hey, you get Ryan Helsley at the deadline, you get Rogers at the deadline. So you have some reinforcements in the bullpen. But it would be pretty darn good if you can get 6 innings out of your starter, because I believe since June 8th, the only starter to go 6+ innings and starts is David Peterson, who, no disrespect, has been very good this year, but he also got kind of rocked last night. Excuse me, was it last night, the comeback game he pitched? Yeah. It was last night, that Wednesday game. But overall, Jake, like, it has been abysmal. The whole rotation ERA over the last 2 months. Sean Manaea, who just came back, a 4.3. Peterson, a 4.4. Clay, a 4.8. Kodai, a 5.3. And Frankie Montas, who now has just been moved to the bullpen, and a little bit of a shakeup, a 6.3 ERA. So, like, I don't know if it's just taxing on these arms. I don't know if the pitching factory kind of just went out of business in terms of things aren't working anymore. But because of this stretch, Jake, they went from being 5.5 games up on the Phillies to being down 5.
Yeah.
And the Phillies did their thing. They got Duran during the deadline with Bader, among other moves. And it went from, man, the Mets could really win this NL East and have this great back of the bullpen, have a good top 3 in the rotation, to, oh my gosh, the Cincinnati Reds are objects appear closer in the rearview mirror, because they're right there. Francona's got his guys going. So, man, I just don't know if they can turn this around, because, like you said, it has been abysmal, this rotation.
Yeah, it's shocking. Most of the stats on the sheet we're looking at from June 13th, only the Rockies have less F WAR from their pitchers. Which
big F WAR guy you are.
Crazy. Yeah, I always, that's where I get most of my information.
Right.
81.2 less innings pitched than the Mariners during that span.
Who has, I believe, the most.
Just think about that. Think if you're a Mariners bullpen pitcher or you're a Mets bullpen pitcher.
That's 9 full games. Literally 9 full games, more innings by the rotation.
And as we try to get smarter and smarter about baseball, which ironically, I think in certain points of the game has made baseball worse, they're going to figure out this pitching thing more. And okay, maybe it's already been figured out. You need innings. Like that's the science behind it, because it hurts not only your starters, who aren't giving you the innings and length you need, which means they're probably getting hit, unless you're Blake Snell, and then the effect it has on your bullpen through the years, and it's just the usage out there leads to more injuries, and if you're in the bullpen, it's potentially because you've had injuries in the past or you're not as effective as a pitcher. Some of these signings that we were going Stearns got and these Mets, Clay Holmes, I think the fans are begging for him to go to the bullpen. Montas was one that surprised everyone. That seemed like a Sevy reunion. They went another way with it. The Mets may have some farm help on the way. I think they're calling up Nolan McLean to clean it up. How do you like that? And then they have a couple other pitching prospects that maybe they get in the mix. But, for the Mets, I guess in one way, it's a good thing that you just say, hey, if we can get some 6-7 inning starts, get it to Helsley, get it to Diaz, we can start getting the engine going again and be one of those teams that has a new chapter to their season. But it's dark in Flushing.
Yeah. Blowing a 9-run lead.
That's...
Excuse me, a 6-run lead, get up 9 runs in 1 inning. That's nuts.
That's something you look back at in a month and you say, that made everyone look in the mirror and we had to start figuring some stuff out, or...
That was a turning point down.
Something that I hear, we got Izo say in the office. I fear we are cooked. That's what the Mets need to figure out.
Get the graphic up, ready and going.
Dalt, we're towards the end of this funky episode. You came in, you had one request. You said you wanted to give out an award. I'm delighted to hear it.
Awards! Shout out, Kelsey. Glad to see you. Just did floorball, so that was awesome. Didn't say that. My award, I'm so glad you asked. I'm calling it the Party for Two Award.
Okay.
Party for Two, it is a song by Shania Twain and Billy Currington. As some of you may know, John Boy Media people in our community, Justin Pennick, good friend of mine, good friend of ours, loves Shania Twain, loves this song. Many people don't know. I have a little fun fact. I have an autistic twin sister. She loves this song. It's one of her favorite songs. She has her headphones on. She plays it on repeat. It's one of her go-to grooves. Why I'm calling this the Party for Two, it's a Marte parte. In the Arizona Diamondbacks world, we like to say, Ketel Marte. Yeah. Lefty and righty, why not? Back-to-back games, Ketel Marte in the 9th inning hits a go-ahead home run, giving the Snakes wins in both of these games versus a Rangers team that is fighting for a playoff spot. Maybe not as much in the American League West anymore, but in the wild card hunt.
Very much.
Those two games could be very much detrimental now, looking back at the end of the year. If the Rangers lose by 2 or less, giving up these 2 home runs to Ketel Marte. I mean, my goodness. But a couple of things why I wanted to say, give some highlights to Ketel Marte. It has not been the Arizona Diamondbacks season that I think many of us, and maybe I overhyped it. The past two that we thought it could be after the Cinderella run in 2023. But dude, Ketel Marte is, I think he's overtaken Jose Ramirez in terms of the most underrated superstar in baseball. And I'm not saying he's better than Jose Ramirez. I'm not making that argument. But what I am saying is I think Jose Ramirez has gotten his flowers now. Whereas Ketel Marte, I don't think still gets his flowers somehow. Because quite frankly, when we look at all the positions in baseball, Jake, which player has the strongest hold of their position? Like, it's for second base, it's Ketel Marte, and then it's insert name here. Like, by far and away. Other positions, you can't really say that. Like, he is by far and away the best player at second base. But when you stack him up to the best hitters in baseball, third in OPS this year, behind guess who? Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Pretty good group to be in, right?
Familiar.
Marte's last 162, Jake. This is MVP caliber numbers. He's batting 300, which some people argue is average important. But when you see that number start with a 3 over a full year, pretty darn good. 47 nukes, 116 RBIs, a 984 OPS. That is unworldly, and you're getting that from your second baseman. So not only has he been doing that over the last year, since basically the beginning of 2024, but he has been clutch. That's his 4th career go-ahead home run in the 9th inning or later. It's a party for 2. Ketel Marte basically giving 2 Diamondback wins, which they need in a clinging of hope for a playoff run. Which,
hey, you gotta believe.
you got to believe, right?
You need like a 30-10, but
Yeah.
we've seen teams do that.
Tigers last year. Shout out Shania Twain and Billy Currington, Justin Pennick, and my twin sister, Corinne. Love you.
Beautifully done, Dalton. Yeah, I was gonna give you a Snakes kickoff at the beginning of the show, and I think for all the people, it's probably a win. We saved it for the back end. And man, the cut to Bruce Bochy after that second Marte home run off of Maton was just like,
what the hell?
Disbelief. And the whole Texas Rangers season has kind of been a form of disbelief. And a little bit for the Snakes. I mean, the train like never left the station. And you're right about Ketel Marte. We love pointing out walks to strikeouts, 51 walks to 54 strikeouts. Yeah, and I think there's just been a little bit of Jose Ramirez. The difference between Jose Ramirez and Ketel Marte is
what a swing.
just unreal. I mean, talk about being the king of cool. Is that what you guys ordered? Another game-winning home run?
Whoops.
Don't mind me.
Flip that bat.
I think we get the Bochy cut here if we have it on this broadcast. Let me see. If we don't, that's fine. He's just a very sad old man, and that's okay. Again, Merrill Kelly on the other side during that
his
game.
First win of the
Perdomo, his old buddy gets him.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez, clockwork. Here's what you're going to get. 4th in MVP. Next, do it again. Ketel's had just a couple injuries and a couple blips consistency-wise. Not recently. His age 29 through now 31, he has been that guy. So I think you're right. I think you're right. There's still an underrated aspect to when you name the best players in the game, you'd give a pretty big laundry list before you get to Ketel, which probably not fair for how dominant he is at his position. Great award. I don't know if this award is me mentally playing defense. I'm giving out the It's All Greek to Me award. It's that time of the season. Shout out to young Jacob Marcy.
Yeah.
7 RBI game. Probably could have been in Fuego or a standout or an award. It is that time of year where young guys are getting the call and teams are banking on them. And I won't go through the whole thing right now because we'll prep it a little better. But Shane McClanahan getting a look in the playoffs. Evan Carter for Texas and their postseason run was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we're giving young Jacob Marcy some run against Gavin Williams coming off the almost no hitter. He's looked as good as a young baseball player can look. Wow. I'm going elsewhere. I'm going to Boston because the whole Devers thing we don't need to replay. A big part of that was there was a guy named Roman Anthony waiting. They extended him. The Roman Empire is here. And I just, sometimes it turns into how special is special. We see a lot of guys get called up and they're a top prospect and then, they don't do this or they do this or, oh, okay, yeah, that guy's a good ball player and he's just going to rack up 3 WAR for them every year. Roman Anthony's not one of those guys. And I saw a stat the other day, and I wanted to shout him out. Jay Hay, an early baseball Twitter guy, obviously hangs out with the Baseball is Dead crew. I'll shout him out, like the baseball community. Carabas, Braden, we love ball. There's room for everyone. And Jay Hay has always been great with the stats. And this one, when I saw him tweet this the other day, career on-base percentage through their first 52 games of a career, age 21 or younger. So, again, the caveat there is you have to be pretty damn good to be called up at age 21.
Right.
And when you get called up, you have to be really damn good. Willie McCovey, 429.
Sure.
In the Hall of Special.
McCovey Cove.
Has a cove named after him, Dalton. A great point.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols, 416. Nicknamed the Machine. I copied his batting stance. Didn't work so well.
It's worked in
Turned
blitzball.
out you need that big body. I've changed stances. I used to do the bounce, and I had the legs separated. It just didn't work. I grounded out to the left side every time for a year and a half. Juan Soto just got $1 billion to play this hobby.
No big deal.
A lot of us played as when we were younger. 4th is Roman Anthony.
Wow.
Minimum of 200 plate appearances. He's been batting leadoff for the Red Sox in a couple of these games. We heard he was special. He got called up. He got the Corbin Carroll-esque extension with some escalators that can put it into a different range. When I saw that stat, my stomach dropped a little bit more as a Yankee fan because I think this is a dude.
Yeah.
This is a dude, and I wanted to give him proper love because this is Talkin Baseball, and there is part of me that in a week will be getting ready for a Yankees funeral, and the Red Sox.
Oh, Jake!
The Red Sox have a way of hosting those parties. That the Roman Empire took over a lot of places. It could be New York soon. I will be rooting for my Yankees until the funeral happens. But I think this is a special baseball player, so I want to shout out Roman Anthony.
And I love that, Jake. And off of that, we talk about guys getting called up. There's sometimes some pressure. You got to perform right away. We saw Christian Campbell, another one of the Red Sox prospects, start off hot, fizzle out. I mean, obviously it was a shorter span of time. He's been sent back down. Roman Anthony's just been doing it since day one, basically. Gets that extension. So I love that award. I don't love that for the Yanks, but quite frankly, love it for the game of baseball.
Yeah. It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
This was Weekly Dumb. What would you do? 3, 2, 1.
For
8?
baseball, yeah, it's like an 8.5.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony. You're comfortable with it? Should the names be flipped? Doesn't matter. When you play baseball like that, it doesn't matter at all. Shout out Rob Scirocco, producing his butt off in the warehouse. We, behind the scenes for everyone, we were piecemealing this episode. We're working on a massive cricket project that you guys will see and hear a lot about and is very cool, but it's been a big wrench in the schedule. Jolly was away. Trev is traveling.
MIA.
Or, I was gonna say he's with Matthew, but no, Matthew's
getting rid
in
of-
camp. He's getting that back loose.
Yeah.
Dalton Feely. What a
Folks.
debut, a Roman Anthony debut.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
you.
Honored. Shout out to you, Mr. Talkin Jake. Come on.
End the episode.
No.
Nobody needs that.
Everyone needs
Grade
it.
Dalton's performance 1 to 1,000 in the comments. We thank you.
Love you, Trev, too. We miss you.
Julio Rodriguez hit a home run.
Nice.
So it's 5-2. Top of the 7th.
Oh, they're out of the delay.
End of the show
Out of
update.
the delay.
We'll see what happens. That was deep to right side.
Ooh, a
My
little
God.
jump celly. Get the trident.
Or Erasmo Ramirez on this show.